Notts Forest 0, Liverpool 1. Oh my God. Oh my God. See this big smile? That was not there after 98 minutes and 50 seconds. And then Darwin Nunez, super sub, comes up with that. I mean, I was bouncing around this house. I'm sure I could only imagine what the whole Liverpool fan base worldwide was like when that ball went in the net. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to scrap for a win, and we had to scrap for a win today. We were never at our best, but you know what? Look, we've played 3 games in 6 days, including extra time. So 3 games in 6 days with 30 minutes added on in one of those games. I mean, it's insane. And that with the injury list that we've got, thankfully, some of them came back today to great effect. And also, you know, it's a ground where we haven't won in a league game for over 40 years. I mean, around 40 years anyway. It's just one of those grounds where we just tend to not do well. So we had sort of that in the back of our minds as well. And also another thing, although Forest are struggling, I looked yesterday, they're about, if you look at just the home form, they're like 11th in the table. And under this new manager, they've scored in every single game since he's come in. So, you know, there was all that to deal with. And we started again with Joe Gomez as number 6, and we brought in Clark, and we had McAllister push forward. So it was a brand new midfield in terms of playing in the Premier League as well, to add to all the other stuff. And once again, it showed. You know, the first half, as much as we had possession, we really didn't do much with it. Neither did Forest. And we ended the half without a single shot on target. I think we had 8 shots, they had 2. They had 1 on target, which Kelleher saved brilliantly, but I'm pretty sure it would have been ruled out if it had gone to VAR, because I think it was offside. So second half started. It started off quite well, I thought. Forest had a little go for about 3 or 4 minutes, but then we started to dominate, and chances were coming, but we were snatching at them, and the pressure was clearly getting to certain players. And I don't like to call out players in a negative way, but Cody Gakpo is really, really struggling at the moment, and he had a really, really good opportunity to either score or put it across for Darwin Nunez and Nunez to tap it in, but he didn't either, and his lack of confidence, he just slashed it wide, and it was, the clock was ticking, but then Forest got a little bit of confidence and had a go, and yeah, they were hitting us on the break. But they were hitting us on the break to pretty good effect, and it was only the final ball and a big miss from the ex-Manc Alanga that kept us in it, because he really should have scored. And what would that have been like if an ex-Manc had sort of put a bit of a nail in the coffin for our chances? So anyway, the clock was ticking down. There were all sorts of stoppages. Dan's came on, clattered the goalkeeper. That put him down for about 3 minutes, which in the end might have helped us because of when we scored the goal. But we weren't looking like we were going to score. We went into the 99th minute with still 1 shot on target. It was Andy Robertson's shot was blocked. That was it in the entire game. And we weren't exactly, it wasn't the Alamo, because just before that, and this is going to be the controversial bit, is Kanate went down with what the ref blew as a head injury, but it wasn't even a head injury. He got clattered, but it wasn't his head. And after the referee blew, Kanate got up, and then the ball was given back to us, and we attack. And in 99 minutes and whatever it was, I think it was McAllister who put the ball in. I'm pretty sure it was. I was too busy dancing around the room to go back and check. But and Darwin Nunez were another one of those little flicked headers. I honestly thought it was never going to be our day, because his header across the box minutes before had been deflected by a defender, and somehow the keeper kept it out. It was a fantastic save. I thought that was it. That's it. But it wasn't. It wasn't, because we're Liverpool and we do things that nobody else can do. It was our 24th goal in the Premier League in the last 15 minutes of the game, and our 36th for the season in the last 15 minutes of a game. And no one comes anywhere close to that in the last 15 minutes of games. It was also another goal from a substitute, and again, I don't have the number in front of me, but we're miles ahead of anyone else for bringing on impact substitutes who either get an assist or a goal. And it just shows you it's there's something up here about this team to be able to play, and I'm going to say it, as poorly as that for the majority of the game, but then to pull that out the bag, it's stunning. So what does that do? I mean, it's not just 2 points. It's really not an extra 2 points, because that's a dagger to the heart of Man City and Arsenal. I mean, they're watching that going, oh yes. No, what happens now is that all we have to do is we win tomorrow in very winnable games. I think Arsenal, Sheffield United and the Manchester Derby, they're like, we go to first and second, and Liverpool are in third, same games played. So it goes from they're sort of comfortable in the knowledge that we've dropped points and they can go ahead of us, to now they're playing catch up again, and they're 4 points behind, 4 and 5 points behind, and now they both have must-win games as well. So finally, some shout-outs. There's not too many who I can really give big shout-outs to today, but Virgil van Dijk was once again absolutely magnificent. There was a stat quoted during the game that this season he's been dribbled past once in the entire season, and he was just impeccable again. A brilliant display from him. Alexis McAllister, he's now getting a run of games in his favoured position, and although he was as anonymous as everyone else, I think in the first half, not having too much of an impact in the game, he had a major impact on the game in the second half. And if anything was going to come through midfield, it was coming from him. So second to last one, Clark. I mean, he came into midfield, and I would say in the first half he was probably our best performer in that first half. And he just looks the part, doesn't he? He just looks the part, and he wasn't giving the ball away. He was trying to get on it as much as possible, and he was making a lot of the right decisions. So big kudos to him. And of course, the final one to the cult hero, Captain Chaos, the difference maker, the one who's been written off so many times by so many people that he's not good enough, that he's not a natural goal scorer, that he'll never be world class. Well, he came on again today, and what an impact! It wasn't just his goal that sealed it. But it was everything else he did. It was everything else he brought to the game that we were missing until Darwin Nunez came on. So Darwin, you're an absolute star, lad. And if we win this league by a point or two, we can look back at that moment as one of the absolute key moments of the season. I'm actually knackered, emotionally knackered after that. So anyway, guess who's next? Man City. And instead of being in a position where we're playing catch up, they're playing catch up, and it's at Anfield, and they are going to be scared to death when they walk out onto that field next week. You'll never walk alone. I can't wait. See you then. Ta-ra.